Hello YouTube, Totalhenry here. Welcome to another episode of what I'm reading and watching. This is the weekly show that comes out every Monday where I talk about the manga and anime that I've been reading. This is a manga only episode. One more thing. Look in the description for the table of contents to show you what I'm talking about and what times in the video I'm going to be talking about it, so you can feel free to skip around, watch what you want, don't watch what you don't want. So as I was saying, this is a manga only episode. I will quickly say that next week I will be talking about the final season of Legend of Korra. I'm about halfway through it, and all I'll say so far is I'm really liking it. It's not the best season, but it's not the worst, and I will talk more about that next week. So as always, we will start off with Toriko. This week was chapter 312. And my general thoughts on this chapter, I'm just gonna put this here. It was a good chapter. I'm anticipating a very good but long fight. The fight with the Monkey King has started, and I'm thinking this is going to be a lot longer than I expected to. Maybe a volume. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be longer than I'm expecting. But I also think it's going to be a good fight. Now, everything in Toriko is so strong that it is insane. The Monkey King's powers go around the world. His punches can be felt across the world. It's just insane, and I don't know how much I can buy this, or how much I can take. So moving right along to Bleach chapter 615. This was a really good chapter. This was a much better chapter than usual, and I can't remember last time I liked the Bleach chapter as much as I like this one. The final battle has started, or what I'm assuming is the final battle. Ichigo and Yawak. Everything is getting crazy. Everything is literally falling apart. There's a lot more, it's still some plot to be revealed, just about the Soul King and Ichigo and his Quincy past. I'm just looking forward to a fight. Some of this explanation will probably be interesting, but I just want to see Bleach wrap up. At this point, I've been reading this for 615 chapters. Let's finish this. Okay. One Piece 776. Yes, 776. This was a great chapter. The focus on this chapter is Kairos versus Dynamite fight. Kairos was the toy soldier, and Diamonite. It's the fight in the flower field. I hope you can tell who I'm talking about. This was a really good fight in this one chapter after the Frankie fight. So, just like the Frankie fight, a lot of talk about honor and will and how I won't back down. So it's a very, again, manly chapter, but in a different sort of way. I still enjoyed it. Still wondering how he can fight on one leg, but he's cool. Okay, what else did I say? Okay, so I think, this is what I think. I think that Oda, he started a bunch of fights all over the Del Rosa, the city, and I think he's going to go through each one of them and just show the fight being won by whoever. So then he can go back to Law and Luffy fighting Doflamingo, because that right now is what everyone wants, but he has all these other fights that he needs to take care of. And right now things seem to be turning for the Straw Hats. I mean, they just won 2 fights in a row, Frankie and Kairos, the one-legged Coliseum Gladiator guy. That's really cool. And the Smile Factory looks like it's been taken down. The little people, I forget what their name is, the Tauntauns? That's probably off. Are going in there and doing stuff, taking it apart. So yeah, just like with Bleach, I want to see the final battle, Luffy versus Doflamingo. But One Piece, I'm fine with this. This can go on for a while, and One Piece will. So I'm fine. This was a good chapter. I don't really have any complaints. I wasn't surprised that this was a good chapter, because One Piece is usually good. Now, speaking of surprises, Nisekoi, chapter 158. this just keeps getting better and better. This series, for a long time, I was like, oh my god, this is so boring, so boring. This is the same thing. Now, all of a sudden, this arc is just blows my mind. This was incredible. Chapter 158, I don't know if I said that. Oh my god, this is incredible. This arc turned from a class field trip to, I'm just going to come out and say, because this was a few chapters ago, to the possibility of Chitoge leaving, going back to America, and she and Raku don't have to be fake lovers anymore. This happened a few chapters ago, so this should not be a spoiler. This has been the best weekly title for me personally in the past few weeks, just because I don't expect it to be so good. I expect it to go back to the way it was, and it still keeps going on. I think we are reaching the climax here. I feel like I said that last week. But the question asked to Raku at the end of this chapter by none other than Shu, my favorite character, is incredible. And Raku is going to skip around the bush, probably say, what are you talking about? I can't choose. Maybe can guess the question already, but it's just incredible. Other things I wrote on here is everything's happening so fast. Nisekoi is great right now. Okay, next series is Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 106. Last time I talked about they were heading into a new arc. I didn't write down the name of the arc, but it was the French word for internship, where they intern at restaurants. And this is the first chapter where Soma and I forget the girl, she was the assistant to the stuck-up one. If you know what I mean, the girl from the very first chapter who Soma cooked an egg for her. The assistant to that girl is with Soma. She's like a medical cook or something. So before I even read the chapter, there was a color page. It was a great color page. It was a funny color page. Soma was like a robot, and this girl was like on her shoulder. It's hard to describe. You should check it out. So this reminds me of the earlier chapters where Soma just kind of kicks ass. He just does everything so easy, and it's just incredible. Soma saves the day. Now the ending does foreshadow a big, not specific event, but a problem. Just things are going to get a lot tougher, so I can't wait to see, because right now Soma knows what he's doing. He's doing great at this internship. Next, and the newest addition to the weekly lineup, is My Hero Academia, chapter 30. Did I say what chapter Shokugeki no Soma was? That was 106. I think I said it, but I'm not sure. I am losing my mind. Okay, so My Hero Academia, chapter 30. This was a good chapter. This is my first time having to wait a week for this chapter. Now, as I was reading it again, a week after not reading any of it, there were so many good characters that I liked. This was a good chapter. I can't wait to see what the next test is. If the main character, I wrote his name down, Yuzuki Midoriya, if he can keep going, if he can win this competition and become a full-fledged hero, if he can master the power. This is incredible. There are a lot of characters that I'm interested in, like Shoto Toriko, the kid that's half fire, half ice. Probably butchered his name too. I really am interested in him, and there's a little thing at the end with him and Midoriya, the main character, so I want to know what's going to happen. And they're taking a lunch break in between the round 2, which just ended, and round 3, which is about to begin. I hope the lunch break, the chapters in between aren't too long, because I want to get back to the action. This is a great series. Now, this also, I think, marks a point where people recognize this kid as a contender. And it's always great in manga where you have a not underachiever, but you have sort of like a loser kid. I'm going to use Naruto as the example. And eventually people start to recognize him, that this kid might have something. And I think that's what's going on here. You can make the argument that people recognized him before, but now the top tier heroes are starting to recognize him, and that is really cool to see. I like that Midori, he's getting this recognition. That's the character I'm talking about. I didn't make that clear. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to talk about is Jumpstart. Now, I mentioned this in my last what I'm reading and watching video. I will try to put a link in the description so you can look at that, or you can just go to the playlist on my channel. It has all of those in order. Hopefully I'll remember to put a link in the description. So anyway, the reason I brought the other video up is I explained what Jumpstart is. But to explain it again, when Japan Weekly Shonen Jump gets new series, the Weekly Shonen Jump in America brings over the first few chapters of all of those new series so the readers in America can experience them. And then after the 3 or 4 series, the voters pick, or the readers get to pick which one they want to stay, and we get caught up on that one. Hi-Fi Cluster that I talked about a few weeks ago was one of those series that won the competition, and well, competition is a strong word, but won and was able to stay in, and we got to read the whole run. So, as I said last video, there are 4 series this time. Kagamigami, this was by the author of Siren, Black Clover by Yuki Tabata, Cyborg Rogi by Yu Miki, and Ultra Battle Satellite by Yusuke Utsumiya. I hope I pronounced the names right, particularly the author's names. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. So the first chapter of Kagamigami, by author of Siren, came out, and I just read the second chapter. So the second chapter was sort of an introduction, another introduction chapter, sort of setting up the situation and the characters, just that establishing that the girl, the detective, her name is Mako Miyoshi, that she is a slob. Her apartment is completely messy, except for one part where she has her detective work. The rest of the part is just a pigsty, and she's late on rent, and she doesn't have a lot of money, and just she's always in trouble with her landlord, and also that the kid, Kyosuke Kagami, really wants to help her, and he's going to use his shokugeki powers to help her. And then they found the cat. The stereotypical anime thing. Let's find the cat. Naruto did that. They're gonna do it. And I didn't really like this chapter. Nothing really happened. Just sort of setting the stage. And I'm big into plot, and I wanted to see more plot because I think this series has potential. And next week will be the last chapter. I'll get to review. So hopefully it will make me interested enough to want to see it back again. I'm trying to like it. I read Siren, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. I thought the first few volumes were excellent. I thought it was really great overall. Siren's a good series. So I'm trying to like it, but now I read the other Jumpstart series that came out today for chapter 1. So this is going to get confusing. So Black Clover, I read the first of its 3 chapters today, and it was incredible. The main character's name is Asta, A-S-T-A, Asta, and the sort of rival is Yuno, Y-U-N-O. Hopefully you can get it. Okay. I really like the quick little things here. I really like the art. The beginning reminded me of Naruto. Remember in Naruto, it had the opening page with like the fox demon, and it's like 12 years ago this fox attacked the town, blah blah blah, 4th Hokage defeated it, he sacrificed himself. This started out the same exact way, except it talked about a demon and said this guy defeated it, and I believe he was the Wizard King, that's what they call him. And then in both the series, when you turn the next page, it is a title page, or not a title page, a double color spread, that could also be a title page, with the main character just going, yeah, just jumping in the foreground, jumping right at you, and then the other characters just like in the background. So it reminded me a lot of Naruto. It also reminds me of Fairy Tail just because of the main character's design. His hair sort of looks like Natsu. He also looks like the main character of Haiku, the volleyball manga. I do read that, and I want to review it one day when I have not so much stuff to talk about. So maybe next week I'll talk about that. So he reminds me of Natsu. He also looks like the main character from there. Just sort of in the art and personality-wise, he's a lot like Natsu in Naruto. And I really like this first chapter. And the main two characters, Asta and Yuna, are like Naruto and Sasuke. Asta being Naruto and Yuna being Sasuke. This is a great chapter. I hope you will be able to read it. I believe this is Weekly Shonen Jump is free. If you just go there, you'll be able to read this chapter. And a basic plot summary, without giving away anything, is it's a magical world and people seem to be born with magic. Asita doesn't seem to have any, and both of these characters, Asita and Yona, want to become the Wizard King, which is like the Hokage, or it's their version of the Hokage. And the ending is very cool. I don't want to give it away. You guys should go and read this, but I want to know where this is going, and I just love the series so much. It's only the first chapter, and I think this is great. And as of right now, I'm going to pick this one when it comes time to vote for the Jumpstart series that I want to see continue in the magazine. And I hope this keeps running for a long time in Japan, because this has potential. This is really good. And thus concludes another What I'm Reading and Watching video. I hope you guys are enjoying my frequent uploading, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And as always, my thumbs up. You're only going to get one thumb this time. I'm sorry.